Do you really need to leave your own country or even your own town to have an adventure? I used to think that you did. I used to always think that I had to fly to the Himalayas or to New Zealand or somewhere exotic to experience the wilderness or experience adventure. But as I get older and as I get more experienced, I kind of realised that adventure is quite subjective and it's not really about going somewhere exotic and wild. It's more about, it's a feeling, right? Adventure is just a feeling. It doesn't matter what the adventure is, it could feel different to different people. So it's something inside you that makes you feel a certain way. It's a sense of adventure. That's really what we're chasing when we go on different adventures, right? And I would argue that going, like, you can have just the same amount of, whatever that feeling of adventure feels like for you, you can have that in your own town, in your local area, just as much as anywhere else in the world. Like, it might not be, the photos might not be as cool, the Facebook picture, the profile picture might not be as cool, but or like, you don't have bragging rights as much if you've not went to the Arctic or something. Like, these things are cool, right? I've done things like that in the past, and I still want to do more things like that in the past. But the more I think about my local area, and the more that I look at it from a different lens, the more I'm interested in, like, exploring more of it. And I think this came about, like, through COVID. More of us started exploring our local areas and realizing that there is actually a lot of adventure, like, just out your back door kind of thing. And that's basically the goal of this video, is to show you that there's probably a lot of adventure right under your nose as you're walking about your own town. And I think, see, if you always think about adventure as being like, I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, or I can't afford a flight to, XYZ, you're never going to, it's like the rain in Scotland. If you always waited for the rain to stop in Scotland, you would never go on an adventure. You'd never go up a Monroe or go camping. You can't wait for these things. Like, there is adventure out there. Like, just go and experience it. And I kind of put this to the test last year. I done 7 micro adventures in 7 days. And a micro adventure is just the idea of, like, going on an adventure overnight. Like a small, like, taking what an adventure is and putting it into, like, maybe 5 hours, or like an overnight trip. So I'd done 7 of those in 7 days, and it was hard. it was a full-on week. I was exhausted, but after the second day, never mind the last day. But the point of it was to prove to myself and to other people who were watching it, was that, like, you can, like, if I can do 7 in 7 days, you can do 1 in a month, or 1 every couple of weeks, or whatever. And that was the whole point in it. And I'm so glad I done it, although it was extremely hard. But it was things like the first night I camped above my town. There's a hill above my town, like farmland, and I camped up there the first night with no tent, just a bivy bag. Watched the sunset go down on a Monday night. Amazing. Like, what a end. Like, and I could do that tonight, but I don't think I'm going to. But I should do things like that more often. But what else did I do? I went a kind of run, a run/swim. I went for a full swim with me and my dad. That was a cool experience. That getting to bond. I was swimming, he was kayaking, making sure I didn't drown. And then I went and took one of my friends for a micro adventure. First time he's ever been camping. We didn't take a tent. We just took a bivy bags and what do you call it? A tarp. And it was torrential rain the entire night. And yeah, so, like, taking people out, like, you don't get, you can do these things just on a whim. You just a moment's notice. You can go and you can be spontaneous with this kind of thing. And I think people should invest more in that than they should, like, the most expensive Arc'teryx jacket, or, like, whatever it is, or flights to Nepal. Like, all these, like, that's cool. All that stuff's cool. But don't forget, like, adventure doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. You can get, it's like people who say, oh, I can't get to the gym, I don't have time. You have legs and you have arms, most likely, and you have space in your bedroom. You can do press-ups and squats. You can train. It's just, we create excuses so that we don't have to do the things that we kind of want to do, but we don't want to invest. We kind of need someone to push us. And I think just think of an idea, and it's quite hard to think of an idea, but literally just type in on Google micro adventures, and then you'll think of something. Be creative, think outside the box. It can just be as simple as camping on your like above your local hill. If you don't have, like, I'm lucky, I stay stone's throw away from like farmland. Right? Not everyone's that lucky. But like most people, at least in the UK and probably wherever you are, you have rivers, the ocean, maybe woodland, farmland. There is nature. Maybe it's not a walk. It's not a walking distance away, but maybe you need to get the train or even drive a short distance. But make the effort, because it will pay off. Because it's the other thing about why it's so good is you learn more about your area, and you start to kind of fall in love with it and look at it from a different perspective, rather than just looking at like some trees that you walk past every single day. You go in and check out, oh, this used to be like an old railway. Oh, that's so cool. Never knew that. Where does the railway go? You start looking at things completely different, and thinking about the history, and you get more engaged, and you're more part of the community, or the area that you live, which I think is really cool.